Hi Shawna, this is Justice. Today's date is February 20th. And I just wanted to go over some key concepts that I talked about with you that I didn't really talk about with Paris. And one of it is just the smaller details. So basically, when strumming, make sure that you're using your arm kind of like a wave. So you kind of see that when you strum a guitar, you're not just locking all these things and just this thing's pivoting like this. It's actually going in this motion. So from big muscle to smaller muscle, to the wrist, to the fingers. So it's more like this motion. See how it's kind of like a wave? Kind of looks like a luau. The same time that we're doing that, we also need to make sure that the pick is striking flat against the strings. Let me see if I could show this to you. It's going like this. You can't really see this. Versus this angle, you'll hear what happens if I hit at an angle. You'll hear it scraping. This is a gross exaggeration, but this is just to make a point. Versus if it's hitting flat. See, if it's going sideways, it'll scrape up against the string like that. Another thing is with the fingers. I just want to make sure when you're doing this exercise, just like on a piano, when you go to the piano, your fingers are always arched. Not flat, and not letting it collapse. See, this is what we want to avoid, is the finger collapsing. We want it to be at an arch. So the same thing goes with the guitar. Basically, we want to make sure that the fingers are kept at an arch like this. Da 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 da. So here, I'll do the exercise and you can see that at an angle. Another thing also is the thumb position. The thumb is going to be behind the neck. We won't be playing with the thumb like this until maybe we get to the chords, but generally I like the thumb to be behind the neck. And make sure it's just behind the first and second finger, but not in the middle, or it'll create tension with it being back over here like this. So more towards like here. And remember, it doesn't take very much pressure to pressing the guitar strings. The second thing is also making sure you're not having the fingers extend out like this. Again, a gross exaggeration, but this is just to make the point. Try to keep the fingers as close as possible to the strings without it actually touching the strings. And this is a technique that I'm working on also. Same thing that applies to the piano. When we play the piano, we don't go like this. We just keep the fingers just right on top of the keys. Piano's a little bit different because we can't actually leave our fingers on the keys versus on the guitar. We have to take our fingers off the string, otherwise it'll inhibit the vibration. Shawna, I also want to make sure that when you're pressing down here, you're not thinking too much of just pushing down, but you're also thinking about lifting up on the fingers. So as it's pressing down, this hand is lifting like this. So again, it goes through exaggeration, but just to make a point that the fingers are never just locked down like this. There's always a motion going on, because as soon as the motion stops, then stress builds up. I'll show you again. I'll show you what this looks like on the piano. So like with the piano, rather than just pressing down and locking down, I don't know if you can see the tense. If you look at my forearm, you'll see tension building. You see that? Versus if I lift off with this, it keeps the tension very minimal. So as I'm pressing down, I'm also lifting with my hand. Okay. This applies to all instruments where you press down on something. Okay. So basically, yeah, Shawna, I think it's great that you're learning guitar, and I'm really jealous of your Fender guitar. It's a really gorgeous guitar. And we'll just continue this on with, we'll just continue on with the next lesson on Sunday. Okay. Bye, Shawna.